Hello and welcome to another audio analysis. In today's video we take a look at the track Sign of Life by the American metalcore band Motionless in White. This was track number 2 on their 6th studio album Scoring the End of the World, which was released last year on June 10th, but they've only just released a music video for it. Something a lot of bands seem to be doing now is taking this extended period of time to release music videos and just constantly promote the album forward, and it did serve as the follow-up to 2019's Disguise, and this was certainly an album that really showed the band's ability, I do feel, to finally start pulling all their elements and styles together. Although in previous albums they tried so many different things, they hadn't quite been very cohesive and at times could feel a bit disjointed, but certainly with this album they really pulled everything together. Everything started to follow on the same path, and it really showed with the strong reviews that the album did receive and the effects that it's had on a lot of people, really just kind of showing and standing out as one of the powerhouse albums of 2022. Will this track, however, show signs of life or simply be lacking a pulse? Let's take a look at exactly how it sounds. So with the opening to this track, we can really start to see the way they've mastered pulling all these elements together. You've got this eerie sound that really sets the scene, then you've really got these more heavier hard rock elements, and even in the vocals kind of drawing these digitized sounds, looking at things like Linkin Park almost, and then switching into something deeper in the chorus, very reminiscent of things like Breaking Benjamin. So I love how cohesive and how well this track flows as it does move through these different styles. It doesn't feel jarred, it doesn't feel disjointed, it just really feels like it's really smooth in the way it transitions between these different genres and styles. And it is a track that really touches about this idea of kind of feeling like you're lost, like you're lifeless almost. And I love the way it opens it with it. It's starting again because I let you in. Let you in is almost this darkness that you let in. It's this seed that gets inside you and grows inside you in a world unknown. So it's like almost something that's been introduced to your body, and it's using you as a host, this darkness that spreads and grows throughout you and kind of makes you begin to question things. This idea of spinning out of control. I bury it till I choke. So burying this darkness within you. So I like how they kind of touch on this idea of it being a seed that then sprouts and grows, and that kind of manifests itself almost within inside yourself. So these ashes scarring my throat, you want to scream from this darkness, but it then burns your throat, and this darkness kind of corrupts your body as it moves through it. And I like this idea of you fall away into the light. It's almost like this idea of touching on this sign of life. You feel lifeless, like you're ascending into the next life almost. So really this idea of you fall away, you're kind of moving down, almost like you're dying almost, kind of flopping over certainly, and almost where numbness and pain are synchronized. So again, touching on these ideas of being lifeless, you don't feel pain, numbness, these sorts of things going, there's a grave behind my eyes. So really setting these dark scenes, this end of life almost, the option that is coming in. Then how do the dead find a sign of life? So if you feel so dark inside, how do you find this life within you, this light within you to move forward?
Far away, the
And I really love as we move through this second verse. Trapped in a maze in my mind. This point where you're almost surrounded. This darkness spreads and it almost forms this impenetrable maze you can't get through. It's toxic. So really touching on this idea of, again, this manifestation. It's corrupting your body. I'll scratch my nails through this coffin. So it's almost like your body becomes your own coffin as you try and scratch out of it. Scratch outside of your own head almost. So I really like the way they touch on this through this actual track. And again, this has such a strong nostalgic feel. It really takes me back to the mid to late 2000s when you really saw some of these big rock bands. Although Motionless and White are their own entity, they do draw a lot of influence from so many different bands and really meld them together. So it really gives a lot of people, certainly me included, that very nostalgic feel with some of these tracks they've been releasing recently, because they've mastered the art of pulling them all together. And it just really shows how they blended these influences in such a cohesive style. It really is credit to the band, and certainly Chris, just beautiful on those vocal switches between this rapping style, between these deeper tones, between these screams as well. I love the way he just kind of effortlessly moves between them. Bare your soul. Numbness and pain, I synchronize. If there's a grave behind my eyes, then how do the dead find us? So pull me close and twist the knife and drag me to hell with heaven's lies. If there's a grave behind my eyes, then how do the find a sign of life. Find a sign of life. And I love how as we move towards the end of the track, we really start to see those layered vocals. Again, just throwing lots of different elements in, really keeping you guessing with what they're going to do with the track, and really just showing, again, another layer, another ability that they're able to really incorporate as we do move into that breakdown. Not going too heavy, but I kind of like they don't with this. I love the idea of bare your soul. It's starting again, I won't let you in. So kind of you get past that point where you cleanse the darkness from you and you won't let it into, again, to that world unknown. So the idea of trying to clear your head, your mind, your heart of this darkness that's manifesting you to find that sign of life, to let yourself live again and move forward. So I really do like that, how it almost in the last chorus really talks about this fight really between the two. Then how do the dead find a sign of life? So pull me close and twist the knife. So almost like that final fight almost with that darkness where you have to kind of twist it and then pull it out of you. Certainly this idea of drag me to hell with heaven's lies. So you can really see a lot of dark elements being included into this track, but it's something that Chris really wanted to focus on, was this kind of loss of feeling, this numbness he felt within himself and wanting to return to how he used to be and feel a bit more positive after going through a very dark time in his life. So I think it's a very strong track in the way it really incorporates that message and really shows the meaning he really wanted to convey, and certainly does it in a way with lots of interesting musical elements. It was for me one of the standouts from the actual album. I really just got hooked on the first time I heard it, because again of this cohesiveness they really seem to have found with this track, and certainly with this album, in their ability to pull all those musical styles together. So that will be everything for today's video, but as always, feel free to let me know your thoughts about this track in the comments section below, or let me know what your favourite track was from Scoring the End of the World. It's certainly a very impressive release from the band, and great to see them continuing to move forward with their musical style and continue to do what they do best in pulling so much together and exploring some very heavy meanings within their music. Also, if you'd like to see more content like this, then please do feel free to subscribe, and I will see you in the next Dojo analysis.